Hey guys, Tyler from Duelcaster here. I'm bringing you another Brawl match this week. Interestingly, the new changes to the format where we're going from 30 life down to 20 life for 1v1 Brawl and with a new ban list have not been implemented yet on Xmage. So at the time of publication, the old original rules were still in place. Anyway, I'm running Jodah Archmage Eternal. Kind of a fun build-around card. You get to run 5 colors, so you get to play all the most powerful spells in Standard, all the most expensive spells, and really it plays out such that you can often just cast the spells even if Jodah dies, but Jodah appears very threatening to your opponent. And my opponent is running Huatli, Radiant Champion. This is a pretty powerful card when you get to build around it. I think it's not as good in like Standard, for example, when you can't count on drawing it, but when you can count on drawing it, it is like an absurd build around. You just want to jam as many creatures and token makers in your deck as possible and just go nuts. It's so easy to ultimate. And try to excuse my sniffles and stuffiness. I am having a lot of allergy problems right now. So anyway, hope you enjoy the match. Okay, I'm in the draw and I see a decent hand. I have 4 colors of mana, and it's kind of slow, but I have a Fumigate to mop up any rush he comes out with. Draw another land in Evolving Wilds. On his turn 2, he plays a scary card, Shana Sisei's Legacy, so this could grow really big, really quick. There's a lot of token makers in this format, so I'll have to keep that in check here. Get an island and say go, so now I have all 5 colors of mana. And his third turn, he plays Kinjali Sunwing. So 2 pretty efficient cards back to back, so I'm under a little bit of pressure. Get attack for 2. In my next turn, I keep drawing lands, so get a Plains and play Atsukan Seer, which is kind of a nice one. It lets me block in the early game as well as make any color of mana, and does a few things. He plays Mouth to Feed, so he just gets a 3/3 Hippo creature token, so that pumps Shana up to a 3/3, and he whacks me for 5. So now I run out this Fumigate, partly because I have nothing really better to do. I could play Jodah, but then since I want to Fumigate eventually, it doesn't seem very good, and I wouldn't have any really great blocks. So I just run the Fumigate out there. He plays Anointed Procession on his turn, so he's going to be able to double all of his creature token production from here on out. It's a pretty scary card too. I play Jodah here on turn 5 and pass. He has the cast out immediately to mop it up, take care of it, which isn't that bad because I can just recast it next turn if I want to. So he takes out Jodah, put it in the command zone, and I draw Sheltering Light. So because I drew the Sheltering Light, I decided to play the Spire Bluff Canal, so I can leave up Sheltering Light protection. He plays Growing Rites of Itlamok, the enchantment that flips into a Gaia's Cradle, essentially, and he gets Adorned Pouncer, so really scary card with that Anointed Procession. Gotta be careful how I manage that. So I play Jodah now and then hold up the Sheltering Light. He plays a card would really kind of abuses this Anointed Procession, Angel of Invention. So he's going to be able to fabricate and get an army of 2/2 servos. It's a lot of power. And flip his thing into Itlamok. So I just play this Cultivator's Caravan, then I play Imbolus's Clutches to take the Itlamok Cradle of the Sun, the Gaia's Cradle land. So mainly just to deny him this card because he was going to go off with it, and anything if I kill Huatli, it would just get recast so easily. He plays the cat plus the Channeler Initiate. So building up his board even further. He kills off the cat immediately, so he wants to eternalize that so he can get 2 4/4 double strikers. I cast out the Anointed Procession, so hopefully I can contain some of this madness. But he has a SRAM's Expertise, so glad for multiple reasons I got rid of that Anointed Procession. So he just gets 3 1/1 servos instead of 6. And then he plays Orkestra's Monument for free off the SRAM's Expertise. So he's going to get even more tokens every time he plays a creature. And he passes back to me. I draw a Magma Spray, which is alright because I can take out that Angel of Invention and pass back. I really don't have much going on here. I'm holding on to this lay claim for him to play Huatli, which he does. So he's going to go up to like 12 loyalty with Huatli, and now have a chance to steal it and ultimate it, which is really kind of the dream when you're running cards like lay claim. So I ultimate Huatli, so I get this emblem whenever a creature enters the battlefield under my control, I draw a card, which is pretty nice, although my hand is all reactive and defensive spells, so that's unfortunate. He eternalizes the cat and attacks Huatli with the team pretty much, except for Channeler Initiate. So he's going to kill either way. I'll just let it die. I should have blocked a token with Jodah, but forget about that. I use Cast Down to take out the 4/4 double striking cat, whack him in the air for 4, and pass back. He plays Thrashing Brontodon, so he can blow up an artifact or enchantment, which he has quite a few good targets here between Cast Out and in Bolus's clutches. I draw Fatal Push, which is decent. Attack him for 4 and pass a turn. He takes out the Cast Out to get his Anointed Procession back, then plays Path of Discovery. So any creatures he plays now are really valuable, extra valuable for him. Attacks with the team, I go down to 16. Looking for some gas here. I find a creature, which is kind of nice because it lets me draw off of the Huatli emblem. So I get the Siren Storm Tamer. It doesn't look like it's going to be doing much here, but oh wow, there it is. Nicol Bolas, God Pharaoh. So that was a really nice draw, and kind of just in the nick of time, really. In the nickel of time. And I'm going to plus to see what I get from his library, and I see a Banalish Marshal, which is quite nice because I draw an extra card. I can take out this token. I'm kind of going on the warpath here. I decide to make my Cultivator's Caravan into a vehicle and attack him for down to 11. He plays Call the Cavalry, which is pretty nice because he gets 4 2/2 tokens, which can be even bigger depending on what the exploration here off the Path of Discovery. He mills the Llanowar Elves, but keeps Angel of Sanctions on top. Alright. And then he attacks me. I'm not sure he realizes that he's dead to Nicol Bolas next turn, but it's fine by me. I attack him down to 4, and then finish him off with Nicol Bolas. 7 damage right to the face. Right to the face. Kapow! So that's game 1. Like killing people with their own cards. It's kind of satisfying. Probably bad from their perspective. Alright, game 2. This hand's pretty awful. I don't have any green mana, and Overwhelming Splendor is kind of a mulligan by itself, so I just mulligan. And my second hand is bad, but it's keepable. I don't want to go down to 6. Scry that Servant of the Conduit to the bottom, and then I play Irrigated Farmland. Still not drawing lands. I'm going to need this... I have this Renegade mapped as a kind of a delayed land here. So... simple card, just lets me tap, sack it for a basic. He's no shortage of mana. He's Growing Rights of Itlamok again, so he gets Manglehorn, which is a pretty annoying card, but at least I see it here before it actually comes out, because otherwise I might run this Cultivator's Caravan straight into it. So I crack for a Plains, and the reason I get a Plains is I just want to make sure I can have the double white for Fumigate, because I know I'm going to need that card. It's going to be crucial. He plays Anointed Procession again. I have 3 mana. I don't want to run the Cultivator's Caravan out into Manglehorn, so he plays Angel of Sanctions here, kind of more or less on an empty board. He just has the Siren Storm Tamer as his only target, and I actually let this resolve because if I Supreme Willed it, it would just help him because he has the Anointed Procession. You get 2 copies. So I just want to dig for land, so I use the Supreme Will to dig for a land, which I find a lot of white mana lands. I play Shalai here, and partly because it can kind of bounce off of the Angel of Sanctions for the time being, and kind of incentivize him to commit more resources to the board, which could be mopped up by Fumigate. He has Memorial to Glory, which nice card, especially with Anointed Procession. Obviously, he plays Cast Out, unfortunately, on Shalai, so he's got a free clear attack in with the Angel of Sanctions, bringing me to 27. Luckily, I keep drawing lands, so now I can play Jodah. I got my red source, and again, hopefully incentivize him to keep adding to the board, which he does here. He sacks the Memorial to Glory, which not only gives him 4 tokens, but is going to flip the enchantment into Itlamok. So now he has a Gaia's Cradle. I kind of make a questionable play here. I upgrade the cat token. I think I kind of want him to. I kind of think try to incentivize him to eternalize this cat, but he does not do that. He doesn't play into my game, so he plays Master Trinketeer instead, and now he has a ton of mana with the Gaia's Cradle. He plays Huatli and he plays Manglehorn, so at least he's committing to the board. But I really wanted him to eternalize that cat. He actually pumps the Angel instead of plussing the loyalty, so I'm actually able to take out Huatli with Jodah, and I'm kind of priced into this Fumigate now, even though he has 2 creatures with Embalm or Eternalize, which is pretty scary. Thrashing Brontodon comes out. I have my Storm Chamber back after that Fumigate, and then just recast Jodah. Again, kind of a questionable play because I maybe forgot that he had Angel of Sanctions for a second. So of course he Angel of Sanctions embalms and takes out both of my creatures, clearing the way for the Brontodon. And it's looking like I'm in a lot of trouble here. I play Cultivator's Caravan. It would have been a nice turn to play Nicol Bolas or Lay Claim. Huatli comes back out and is pumping again, so he wants to get me dead here. He doesn't want to dirtle around. I actually have cast down for the Angel that he pumped, which is nice, which allows me to get my Jodah back and then block the other one because I did not put it in the command zone earlier. So that staves off the bleeding a little bit. He uses Thrashing Brontodon to take out my Caravan, and I attack Huatli down to 1, and then finally get to cast this Nicol Bolas. Let's see what he's got for me here. Just Ovia Pashiri. Not the best card ever, but it's something you can make chump blockers at least. And Nicol Bolas is pretty clear right now to tick up for a while. He has Spore Swarm, which makes 6 Saplings instead of 3. Really, really easy for him to rebuild, it seems. So he has plenty of mana left over to internalize the cat and make 2 4/4 double strikers, which are really problematic for me now. So now it's looking like I'm really in rough shape. But I'm able to lay claim Huatli and ultimate once again, just like the last game. I do that first because if I get the emblem and I get a creature, which I do actually get Sapling Migration, so it's 2 creatures and 2 draws off the Huatli emblem I just got. So I attack with the Storm Tamer and pass the turn. He plays Pride Sovereign. This is one of the cat lords from the Amonkhet block. He actually has 2 other cats, so the Sovereign's already a 4/4. He really wants to take out Nicol Bolas here. I want to protect it here, so I just chump block the cats, and Nicol Bolas ticks down to 6 loyalty. But still alive, still kicking. Let's see what else he's got on his in his library. Banalish Marshal, once again, nice, not bad. Play this Champion of Ronas, mainly just to draw cards here. I also have Forsake the Worldly in hand. Drawing a lot of lands. Drawing a lot of cards. A lot of them are lands. But it's kind of pretty close to parity right now, I think. Attack him with a flyer and plus Huatli. I actually should have minus Huatli that turn. That was a mistake. He attacks Nicol Bolas. I use Forsake the Worldly to unlock my Shalai from the cast out. And I think I do this now just because I consider blocking one of the cats, but actually I draw Muldrotha when Shalai comes back, so I'm like, we'll let Nicol Bolas die. Maybe I can get him back with Muldrotha, the Gravetide. So I cast Muldrotha, draw a card, attack with my flyers. Again, mistake here, big mistake, not using Huatli to pump, pass the turn. He attacks me with pretty much everything except the Saprolings. He made some cats last turn. So Ovia makes a Golem, which can trade with one of the 4/4 double striking cats. And then I can have some profitable blocks on his 1/1 lifelinker cats, and I just take 8, go to 6. So it's looking pretty good here. I have a lot of cards that I've drawn. Fatal Push takes out the cat. Cast Nicol Bolas from my graveyard. Interestingly, he did not remember to use Scavenger Grounds, so the Nicol Bolas comes back out. I pump I pumped my my Siren Storm Tamer with Huatli, and I'm actually playing really fast here because I know it doesn't seem like it, but I'm getting really low on my clock time in this actual game. Of course, it's sped up afterwards. He plays Mouth to Feed, but he actually runs out of time. That match took quite a while, so I win. Well, I hope you enjoyed that little taste of Jodah, Archmage Eternal. If you have a Brawl commander you'd like to see me build around and play on the channel, just let me know in the comments. And as always, I'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe and show your support that way. See you next week.